Hey, Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome to Qin, the Unifier as China. I said the name of the civilization and the name of the leader in the reverse order, but that is totally fine because today we're playing Civ 6, we're having a good time, we're basically printing armies with zombies, and we are doing an exceptionally tall build. Now, we are making a couple of mistakes in our tall build, but that's fine. That's all part of the process. We do have a very, very early apprenticeship. Next, we really need to get to universities. However, we kind of need to think about what we're going to do sort of on the way. Getting our diplomatic quarter is going to be incredibly important for actually pulling off this tall build as well. We also need to make sure that we keep a flatland tile available in the capital for a spaceport because science victory is the goal today. We could theoretically go for a culture victory, but I've already gone campus first, so that doesn't feel right to me. But yeah, let's go for mathematics. Let's make sure we have that on the way. And I think we could just as equally justify potentially a diplomatic quarter in the capital. Now, one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is that we are covering up a lot of the tiles in the capital, so we'll need to try to find workable tiles in the outer ring here. Not good that we're using up this many tiles. It's a little bit concerning. So I think the main plan this episode is to try to get the Great Library, keep our borders well defended against our enemies, and to pick up a couple more quick districts. I would also really like to get the Colosseum right now. We could take Aryabhata. Now, if we take a look at the Great Person overview, by the way, this is a Great Person mod. I should have a mod pack linked that just goes over the UI stuff. So we can see Aryabhata is the last great person that's available here. If we take a look at the Great Scientist map mode, 3 great scientists have already gone to Eleanor. Eleanor is just cranking out those great people points. She's at 6.9 per turn. Now, we would really much prefer to get maybe like Omar Khayyam, but he would be a lot more expensive. Who we really want is Isaac Newton. That would be like ideal. So I'm going to go ahead and take Aryabhata. I would also like Ibn Khaldun or Isaac Newton. I would take both of these if I could, but I would take one or the other as well. So I'm going to take Aryabhata, even though I don't think that these Eurekas are particularly strong. It is an injection of science, and importantly, it is also the boost for education, meaning we can get to universities faster. So that's kind of like the plan here. Let's take Aryabhata. We will play them in the capital campus when we get a chance. Hopefully that warrior moves out of that city nice and quick, smart. A swordsman has spawned over here, so I will go ahead and convert to take it because that's just a straight upgrade over the unit that I had. Ooh, we could get a Nagao and Beba. I think this would be an upgrade over our zombie. He has quite a bit higher combat strength, so I'm willing to make the trade here. Rightio, so we have a couple of Nagao and Bebas that I can trade a zombie for, so that's like that's an EV positive trade right there every single time. We managed to get the granary in Wuhan. Let's go ahead and make sure we place our campuses. We definitely need to get the monument because we need to keep our culture strong. So we'll get the culture. We're lacking a little bit in tile improvement terms. We are still at war with Eleanor, but I think we've crushed her army to the point where she might consider peace. So I'm going to start walking this builder around to improve that volcanic plain tile. I'm surprised the city isn't working yet. I guess it's not that good compared to what it actually has available. I really need this guy to step off this tile. There is, I think, a way to trick the game into letting you stand on these tiles sometimes, but there are exploits to stack units, but I can never really make them work. Let's take a look at the luxury landscape and see if we can buy some luxuries. I'd also like to sell off some more horses for cash. Having cash up front right now really suits me. I really need you to move. When does my open borders with you expire? Can you just get off that tile? It's extreme. This is griefing right here. This is actually griefing to the point where I might just go in. If they don't move that unit soon, I might just actually delete it. I'm being griefed by the AI. Help! I'm being griefed. Okay, so a Nagao and Beba spawned. Ooh, I would love if I could get traded Nagao and Beba for 2 boats. I would 100%. Ooh, we found Yokul, also known as Anime Mountain, because it's Yokul. Okay, the AI moved. We can get our 3 boosts. There's castles, there's celestial navigation, and there's buttresses. 3 techs I don't particularly care about, but they're pretty good. Now, the watermill is completed in Beijing. I would like to get started on the entertainment but I'm going to start on a builder first. We need to get to feudalism ASAP, so perhaps I will delay. No, we're fine. I would really like another governor title, which we're about to get. So we could do a trade here. I'm going to step you to here, convert 2 barbarian boats. That'll get me era score. Fantastic. You're continuing to retreat. You might be dead here, depending on which tiles we step on. Oh man, we're trading up again. So there's defensive tactics. This will give us an extra governor title. I will be taking, I think, Reina here. Yes, Reina has, I think, the best scaling here. I think there is something to be said for Moksha if I was going for more of a faith-based tall build, but since this is a non-faith-based tall build, I think Reina fits into here slightly better. Now in Beijing, we need to kind of start making things happen a little bit sooner. So I'm going to buy this jungle tile. I'll chop this jungle tile. Then I will come in here and I will place the entertainment complex on the tile that I plan. And then I'll switch back to the builder. And then we'll go for the entertainment complex. How do you feel about peace? You will accept peace. One thing that could be good is to get friendships with people to prevent them from declaring war on me. Just avoiding war is handy, so I'll grab all the friendships that I can, and we're going to get a triple Nagao and Beba convert. Boom. My god, this ability is insane. And I believe galleys can step 3 tiles, so 1, 2, 3. So we want to be positioned like this, so that if he attacks us, we can double hit him. I would love to find a scientific city-state. That would actually be really, really important for my long-term play. The fact that I haven't found one is a little bit disturbing. We also have access to a diplomatic quarter now. This is going to be an important part of our play as well. Potentially after the Great Library, we might pick this up, maybe after the theatre square. Now that we have mathematics, we want to head towards universities. We want to pick up education. It would be nice to get these down. Partially the reason that we want to get the university down is because it gives us the ability to generate more great scientist points in a single campus, right? We go from generating 1 great scientist point from having the campus, and then 2 from having the campus and library, to 3 from having the campus, library, and university. So it's actually quite a significant upgrade in terms of the great people generation, which is an important part of our game plan. We have met Hattusa. Immediately, Hattusa is the single most important city-state that we get control of, purely for the +1 science per turn from capital libraries. But I am going to go ahead and just put 1 point in there for now. And I'm going to put another point in Namadol, because that's another 1 point as well. And we need to get the diplomatic quarter up ASAP, so I'm hoping I can hit 10 pop and Jan relatively soon. I'm having a little bit of a struggle with my gold per turn, so I'm going to start selling off horses for GPT and not raw gold. I no longer need raw gold, I need GPT. So we may as well start clearing out the tiles that we plan to put districts on, and to improve extra luxuries that we can sell to the AI. So unique quirk of zombies is they won't actually attack builders. So I just got another convert, by the way. So you can actually kind of walk around zombies, and theoretically you can also use builders as a wall against zombies. Fun fact. Bet you didn't know that. Unless you were watching the live stream that I did with the Yogscast, where we played with the zombie mode for the very first game. And it was it was rough, okay? Let me tell you. It was rough. So in the city of Wuhan, we have placed a campus. We can place another district. It would be ideal if we could... I really don't want to buy tiles here, but it would be ideal if we could place another district in here. It would actually be super important to me to get these 2 tiles here to have a farm triangle in my capital to keep the city growing. So I may be willing to, if I can buy a luxury, I'd love to sell, well, I'm about to improve another copy of Olive. So I think I'm okay to sell off a luxury here if I can get a ton of gold. 162 gold. 162 gold, that opens up the potential here for me to buy this tile. And now Birmingham won't grow to this tile, it'll grow to one of the other tiles. Bristol won't grow to here for a while because cities grow to all of their 2nd tier rings before they grow to their 3rd tier ring. So we actually have a really good chance of getting this and putting a nice farm triangle here, and potentially even a niter mine here depending on how things go. It's really, really important that we acquire tiles. Now we are going to start running into an issue, and that is gold. So our economy is currently fueled by debt. Let's go ahead and get started on that campus. Quite important that we get that campus up. Great people points, science, all that jazz. And you can see the zombie literally does not care one bit about my builder. He literally walked away, even though it was a free kill for him. Let's go ahead and trade a zombie for you. I'm going to start walking. Where do I want to walk you guys? We have this galley over here cornered, and so we can get work done on him. Let's start walking these archers away. I'll send 2 Nagao and Bebas over here to go maybe deal with this barb camp. But the AI seems to be dealing with the zombies relatively well. So let's step in here, improve this. That'll bring us back up to positive amenities. It would be really, really nice if we could buy this tile too. Let's keep selling off horses for raw gold so we can buy important tiles like this luxury tile. We really want this olives here too. Shit. We need to buy those luxury tiles. They're really, really important. It might not seem like it, but they are really, really important. A, because they're providing us with very, very critical GPT that we otherwise wouldn't have, but also things that we can sell to the AI. Let's sell off all this Diplo favor. I'm going to take GPT because I need positive EV, or not positive EV, I need positive GPT on my empire right now. I'm going to send 2 archers back to go defend. I'm paying a lot of money for units. I'm going to start deleting units that I think are not worth keeping, like for example my spearmen. And it would probably behoove me to plug in the unit cost card as well. Kill the unit with a quadrireme because that will get me a boost towards naval tradition. Excellent. I'm going to delete this spearman as well because it's costing me 1 gold per turn, which is 20% of my current gold surplus. I will do a mutual open borders with you, Mansamusa. Yes, please. 5 turns until the medieval era. We are about to get the Great Library. If I have a builder charge, I could build a great wall tile and guarantee a golden age, which of course I'm going to do. Why wouldn't I? A very weird civ to choose to do a tall build on, if I'm going to admit it, considering how warlike this civ should be. But I think it's kind of working out. Now there's the Great Library. So built on flatland adjacent to a campus. That gets us a step forward in our plans. A zombie did just spawn in the capital, so we're going to go ahead and shoot him and try to get rid of him. Let's kill... Well, hold on. Do zombies have maintenance? Because if zombies don't have maintenance, then this is just a cheap way to have a military unit. And I would rather not pay the 2 gold for a swordsman at the moment. Great Library is completed in the capital. What we really need is to spam out builders in here. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started on a theatre square. We need to change our government in the near future. Sitting on 1 envoy. I really need the 2 gold per turn from Samarkand, so I'm going to put an envoy in there. I know that sounds like so little, 2 gold for an envoy, but trust me, dude. Times are hard out here. We actually have a golden age secured, so we don't need to build a great wall tile, and instead we can focus on getting... Okay, so we lost a second copy of olives, not the end of the world. That's fine. Let's pillage for gold to spawn extra units, and then we'll convert, and probably just look to start deleting these. I just realized how incongruent my game is. Going for a big military play and then playing tall. Yeah, I mean, look. I haven't ever tried to do something like this. I haven't played this leader before, so of course I'm going to play some wonkiness and do something weird. Let's convert. Because I actually just want to trim down the size of my army. And then I'm going to start deleting some of these units to save on cash. So I need to think carefully about how much chopping I do in Beijing. I think I can do 3 chops. This, and this. Beyond that, I'm a little bit concerned about the chopping. Let's get a zombie. Sure. This archer in my capital I should probably promote with volley. So now they have plus 15 to hit units when they're standing in this, plus 5 when they're not standing inside a district. There's education. We have access to the university. That'll be part of our long-term play. You have your campus down. I really want your granary. Apprenticeship, mathematics, education. It would be nice if we could get engineering and stuff like that. The reason being, having access to the aqueduct opens up potential here. Okay, I'm going to get these guys to heal. Annoyingly, I can't delete these units because these 3 units are costing me 7 gold per turn that are standing here. And I can't heal them because I have no iron. See, can I buy a single copy of iron? No one has any iron. Unlucky. Let's trade 1 zombie for 2 zombies. Easy trade. This is like, I'm basically playing like the Attack on Titan version of Civ, where I just have like a bunch of zombies surrounding my territory to keep my people in and keep enemies out. It's a zombies instead of Titans. That actually works even better because I'm like converting the units. I'm turning them into Titans, you know. Yep, I'll take some Titans and a boat. All right, the world enters into the medieval era. We did enter into it in a golden age. Now this is going to be a rather different golden age than you might normally expect. We also just hit feudalism, so that's going to trigger a significant government change. We're going to switch to classical republic. I think classical republic is better here because we can plug in serfdom and we can have all 3 of these cards plugged in. Although you could make an argument that urban planning isn't quite as good for me, but it is quite good. Is it as good as autocratic legacy? I think it is better to have more production spread out. So we could go for free inquiry here, but we haven't built any of these districts. I think Penbrush and Voice is like the good choice. Monumentality would allow me to buy a bunch of builders actually. And I have enough faith to justify buying a few builders in Wuhan. Like I might be able to get 3 builders this era from that. That probably beats a couple of culture points per turn because these builders are going to be able to run down here to the Magna City and start chopping to get like the arena and stuff. I'm going to place the theater square in the city to lock in its production cost. When you place a district, its production cost is locked in, which means its production cost can no longer increase. The cost of your district goes up as you research technologies. We're going to grab stirrups for +1 food from pastures. We do have at least 1 pasture in my empire and potentially 2 more, depending on how I play my cards. So what is next? I'm going to go ahead and pick up theology for the envoy, then I'm going to pick up military training for the envoy, and then I'll pick up naval tradition for the envoy, because I would like to start thinking about which suzerainties I would actually like to fight for. And Tananarivo is a good one. Then I would like to maybe look into getting another governor title from like medieval fairs or something. But we have completed the theatre square in the capital, meaning we're now earning great people points towards those. I really would like the university, but do I want it more than this? What's the current great writer score? I think it would be good to get the amphitheatre. No, I think there's certain great scientists that are really important for a tall build, so getting my universities as soon as possible is quite important here. My archers have arrived. We have amazing scouting information on the map, I feel, right now. You would be hard-pressed to find a game where I've had better scouting in my opinion. 100% production towards buildings and campuses would be really, really nice for me. And making units more expensive with production would also be really nice for me because I can produce units without using production. So units are cheaper in city center. Those are the ones I usually pick, but for a small empire, those are actually not very beneficial for me. So I'm going to try and get friendship with Anshan because Anshan will give me +2 science from each great work of writing that I can get. And if I can get some great works of writing, that would be really nice. This is actually going to trigger me to switch to go to Amphitheater here and to get those books up ASAP because I need to fill all 4 of the book slots that I'm going to have. And I will actually be projecting for that. That's how important that is. And when I say projecting, I don't mean projecting. Chop here to get that arena slightly sooner. And then with this builder, we want to send it down to the south to continue to build up Beijing. We need that Colosseum. If I can get that Colosseum, being able to maintain top happiness levels in all of my cities becomes very, very viable. Let's go ahead and grab this plantation. Now we have 4 amenities. All 4 of my cities are at +6 or higher amenities. +5 or higher? +5 or higher amenities, which means we're getting 20% yields across the board, which I don't think I need to tell you is like a huge boon. She wants to buy my horses. I will not sell my horses for such a low price. Don't you know my horse is worth a kingdom? I'll vote up both of these aid requests and this aid request. I'll vote down the military emergency. Triple aid request? That could be a diplomatic victory in the waiting now. So we got military training. We can come up here. Yoink. We can come up here and put a point into Anshan. Take suzerainty of Anshan. Get the era score and the diplo favor per turn that we can sell to the AI, which is quite nice. We'll come into Wuhan. We will faith buy a builder. That's 12 build charges we've just gained in a two or three turns. I would love to buy this tile. Could I sell anything to the AI? I would love raw upfront gold, so I will take that and I'll buy this tile like so. I'll come into Xiaodong. Sorry, hold on. I want to chop first. Chop. And now it's Colosseum time. Boom. A 23 turn Colosseum is entirely viable. And remember, this is going to be another 2 culture in all of my cities, as well as another +2 amenities, which will mean I'll be able to stay at that 20% churning level much easier. But also like you to take a step back to buy this tile. Let's get that library up. I really want to get my theater squares up now because because I have Anshan, that means theater squares actually represent science and culture, which is a huge bonus. Massive boon. So Eleanor, how do you feel about a delegation? How do you feel about a friendship? Okay, she'll take a friendship. She's not planning to go to war with me. I'm only 20 science behind her. I'm 40 science behind the Ottomans. I'm also 50 science behind the Ottomans, so I'm behind, but I'm catching up, I feel. A serious question I need to contemplate in Wuhan is, where is my food going to come from? If I build a farm triangle using this mountain range, then I feel much more comfortable sending this builder around to do chopping. Like chop here. That'll speed up the library as well as grow the city and allow me to put a mine here for extra production. Now that we're about to get stirrups, I think it would be good to come back and grab lumber mills. There's a couple of good lumber mill tiles in the city of Xiaodong. Unfortunately, this city doesn't have very many hills, so it's going to rely on production coming from lumber mills. There's the night pasture improvement, and I should be able to defend against these zombie hordes relatively easily. I have 3 archers in the wings, and that zombie is dead. Perfect. We got the monument in Xiaodong. I'm going to go ahead and take this tile here. This tile here will be a theater square for Xiaodong, and then I'll probably do a commercial hub here, which covers all 3 of the basic districts that we want to build in the city. So let's go ahead and place that commercial hub now. Quite an expensive commercial hub because we're speeding through the tech tree, which is not good for a tall build. Probably want to get your cities out sooner than I did. Let's swap this tile so we can place the city's campus. Perfect. And I suppose we'll get started on that campus. Sure, why wouldn't we? Let's go ahead and convert the quadrireme. It's cheaper than the melee unit, the Nagao Baba. I will take another zombie, please. Yes, I will trade. It's kind of fun being immune to the zombie mechanic. We've got education, we have lumber mills. What's kind of an important technology? I'm just going to look through the tech tree while I consider my options, and potentially picking up niter right now could be quite useful for me. It would be another way for me to improve the quality of the tiles inside my empire. It would be nice to get the aqueduct boost, honestly, but we might be able to just grab that without even thinking about it. If we take a look at feudalism, we've got medieval fairs on the way. Let's start placing farms here to allow the city to grow, Wuhan, and we would like to change our government. No, our government is fine. We got the thingy in here. I would love to buy the tile for the theater square. Can we make that work? We can. And every chop is sacred in my empire right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on a builder and see if we can't chop this. I will chop right here to finish the Colosseum 5 turns sooner. Excellent. And I'm hoping to get this galley killed, and hopefully it will get killed. That way I don't have to pay for it anymore. The city has reached 10 population for the first time in my civilization, which should mean I should be able to place another district in my capital. I believe it was my capital that leveled up. And we're going to go for the Diplo quarter, crushing an important mine tile, unfortunately. But the theater square did just finish. And if we take a look, 155 production for a medieval era Great Rider. I need to do the math. If I were to do project for this, let me have a look at the Great Rider situation. How much would it cost me to buy Great Riders? 5 gold per turn. If I were to run Theatre Square festivals, 116 production would get converted into 0.15 great points. I got to do the math here. So if I'm producing 36 production per turn, you multiply that 0.15, that means I would get an extra 5 Great Rider points per turn, which wouldn't even put me above the Ottomans. So I wouldn't even beat them to the next Great Rider. So unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until more theatre squares come online, I think, here. So I'll take the time to get my Diplo quarter up. Finally, I'm going to be able to get these man-at-arms killed. Military engineering is completed. This gives us access to Niter. Did we in fact hit Niter? We also have mercenaries, which will allow us to upgrade our units for cheap. Let's have a little bit of a look here. Any Niter in the chat? Wow, no Niter. That's quite unfortunate. We are going to chop here. That'll pop out a builder for me and mean I can also go ahead and pop down a theater square at long last. We can get started on that. We need to get those Great Rider points. So taking a look at the situation right here, the next major milestone for me is scientific theory. So I'm going to head for astronomy and banking. I need to research the guild's civic, which is all the way over here, before I hit that. I also want to hit exploration. So we kind of have to, I need to research the Enlightenment too. If I could research Enlightenment before that, but I don't think I can afford to wait. Oxford University is a critical wonder for me to grab. So we'll probably beeline that. I also need to think about where my industrial zone is going. Unfortunately, I didn't really leave room for it in my capital. So we might have to make do without. One thing that might be worth it for me to do is to run a couple of aid requests because I'm getting triple value from these aid requests, potentially 6 diplomatic victory points and a bunch of other stuff. That's going to be something I need to consider with the triple aid request going. I'm going to go ahead and put down another lumber mill here. Xiaodong is now Xiaolong, making big production. Nice one. So we got our diplomatic quarter, which will allow us to build the consulate. The consulate is quite a good building because we get that +2 influence points per turn, as well as benefiting from any potential relationships with city-states that get to level 2, which will incentivize me to go rather wide with my city-state envoys, which I am doing right now. I am going quite wide with them. Let's keep doing that. Let's take another point into Samarkand. This will allow me to get +4 gold from my consulate, which is actually super important because my gold is really weak right now. It would be quite nice to get +2 production as well. So I'll start building up a relationship with Cardiff. And otherwise, I'm going to hold on to my envoys for now. I'm playing it close to my chest with my envoys and stuff like that at the moment. One thing we could do in Beijing is buy this tile and chop it. It is completely not illegal for us to do that. Let's chop in Wuhan, mainly so that I can improve this with a mine. We need to get industrialization relatively soon. We are beelining, we are working hard. We're still half Ottoman signs, which is not ideal, but I think through the boosting system and stuff like that, we're doing okay. This guy is standing on a really annoying point. Am I still, well, I do have a solution for that actually. Sell off horses, sell off some horses, and there we go. We come into Beijing and we buy this tile, boom. We step forward and we make sure it's owned by Beijing. We chop. There's another 7 turns off the Colosseum. Unfortunately, my happiness isn't quite as high as it should be. Can I buy some great works? It's just a little bit too expensive right now. I'm going to buy luxuries instead because they represent better value. I can't wait to actually build commercial hubs so I can actually afford my empire. This is one of the big downsides of going for a really high tempo build like this is you're basically broke the entire game. This is actually, there's entire multiplayer strategies where somebody plays like this and then another player on their team literally just exists to feed them gold and declare war on another player on the enemy team and try to make both of them irrelevant while their carry tries to win the game. It's a very interesting strategy. Let's go ahead and place the theatre square now that we can do that in Xiaodong. Got all 3 of our districts down fairly quick. And what are we doing with this city? Probably improve that tile right there. You're in the right moment. 1 turn until the Colosseum. I'm really excited for that Colosseum. Boom, there it is. +2 culture, +2 loyalty, and +2 amenities for each city centre within 6 tiles. It's a 4-city Colosseum. Now our positive amenities are like super hardcore locked in. That's a 20%. And I might even actually take Singapore. If that flips independent, I might even take it. Adding a 5th city to this through loyalty would be amazing. Adding a 6th city through loyalty would be even better. But Singapore is actually a relatively well-positioned city. It's got a campus. It's got extra luxuries. I could potentially get a 5th luxury. It's in range of the Colosseum. So it wouldn't dilute the power of my empire too much. And I could probably get Moksha and put him in that city as well. So taking a look at Beijing, we've got the Colosseum. We really need to get our culture up. This is an extremely high value theater square in here as well. I don't really need tile improvements. I could maybe justify a single builder in here, but I would rather get builders from Wuhan. I think I want the high tempo of a +5 theater square more than I want anything else right now. You step up here, put a mine, and I will put a farm on this tile regardless, just because +1 food can actually make the city grow slightly faster. Growing slightly faster means you work more tiles, you get more passive science and culture from your population. We did in fact get the consulate in the capital, which is now producing 4 gold and 2 science, so we're slowly building up the power of the city. Let's get the university. We really need to take this tile. We need to get a builder in here. We're lacking builders. And now that I've said that out loud, I can't think about anything except for the fact that I'm lacking builders. So I'm going to take time and crank out potentially 2 builders out of my capital. Now, they won't be super efficient Liang builders, which is unfortunate, but we might be able to crank out a super efficient Liang builder later on in the game. Go ahead and pop a farm right there. Perfect. Ideally, we would get a farm triangle in every single one of our cities. This would basically cover all of our growth needs. I'm going to get this unit killed to a zombie, hopefully, so that I can spread more zombies around the map to defeat my enemies. Yes, a little bit evil on my part, I will admit that. You're going to grow to this tile in 5 turns anyway, so I don't need to actually prioritize it. Let's keep getting our production up with our builders. The big advantage that tall builds have is how few builders they need to build to improve their territory, and because of the scaling production cost of builders. So there's astronomy, which gives us Patala Palace. That could be something we consider building. Not in my capital. My capital has extremely constrained tiles. Maybe like in Wuhan we could build this. If we had anything am I crazy? I feel like this level of production cost for a wonder just seems kind of insane, actually. I could, in theory, like I have well, I guess I don't know. 46 turns seems crazy. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. But Oxford's going to be even more expensive than that. Right, Wuhan completed its theater square. I would like to get a commercial hub, but I need to just focus on getting these great rider points. So amphitheater it is. Anshan is definitely the most important city-state for me to keep suzerainty of long term, but I will also spread my envoys out when I have the opportunity to. Let's chop here. That'll finish half a builder, and then you're going to put a farm right there. Good. Nice farm triangle coming up soon. I am getting converted, which I don't feel particularly strongly about. The nice thing is I can actually put a farm here, and this will dress off from these other potential farm tiles and inherit the adjacency of my neighbor's farm. So you can actually build farms collaboratively with your neighbor, which is a bit of an odd thing to be able to do. Right, so I got my builders out on the floor, on the dance floor. Let's get the university, and you're going to head up north to build my farms. Coming over here to Jiaodong, we got our campus. Let's get the library. Everything is about tempo right now, because the Ottomans are staying ahead of us, which I don't like. I don't know how he's staying ahead of us. He just has so many cities. It's the problem. But we achieved our major goals for the episode, which was to keep the empire flowing. We got the Great Library. We got the Colosseum. The only thing we're really missing are the great works of writing. But I might see if I can buy a great work of writing here. Ooh, here's a fairly cheap one. I'm going to buy that immediately. Another really cheap one. I'm going to buy that immediately. And another really cheap one. Okay, I just got 3 great works of writing. Super cheap. That's going to be a huge boost to our empire. What's that? 6 culture, 6 science, 6 tourism per turn. Yes, I'm broke now, but #worth? Question mark. So we just unlocked guilds, which will give us the boost for banking. Nothing here I really need to change. This could actually be not a bad Chichen Itza game. If I think about this, +2 culture to all rainforest tiles in the city, +1 production to all rainforest tiles in the city. There are, theoretically in Jiaodong, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rainforest tiles. One of them will be covered up by the Chichen Itza. I mean, I could make it work. I would need to go for monarchy to pick up Gothic architecture. Let me have a look. Is anyone else building Chichen Itza? No one else is building it, so I could build it. But would I rather have Chichen Itza or a fully built theater square? I mean, I think I'm going to go for the Chichen Itza here. It's a rare Chichen Itza game, plus I can place it next to a potentially placed theater square, which is another +2 adjacency. So let's do it. Yeah, a rare Chichen Itza game. I would like to get diplomatic service now, but I really need to get Gothic architecture for the 50% production towards wonders. So I'm going to go for that next. Then it would be good if I were to get, okay, every single one of these cities has a governor. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Amani because I can use her to try to make sure that we have control of Anshan. So that's going to be +2 envoys in there for the rest of the game. That is Amani's job. Anshan is just a really, really important city-state. I would really love to get another couple of scouts over here to the east. I might go ahead and send a zombie scout because they basically can't be well, I mean, like, they just always generate positive value. There's another farm. So we've got the nice farm triangle in the capital, securing our future in terms of food. The growth in here is insane, which is what we need. Let's get the plantation. Plantations represent gold. Gold represents the future and only hope that I have to survive this game. Catastrophic eruption in the city. I forgot that I needed to promote Liang here. Unfortunate. However, we did just get a really high adjacency theatre square and access to banking. So not everything is bad here. Let's get the next amphitheatre. How is the Brave People points generation? We're starting to catch up on the Great Rider situation, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, I don't have really tiles to improve. I may chop out this for a farm triangle. I think that would be worth it. I really need to get to mercantilism because that's when you can build lumber mills on rainforests, and there's certain cities in my empire that would like really benefit from that. Unfortunately, a lot of my tiles over here just got shreked, so I'll have to run around and try to improve them again. It's not the end of the world, it's just annoying. So if we take a look at our capital, we just finished the university here, which means this city is essentially full built. We could theoretically snake in another settler over here if we wanted to. Now do keep in mind that Singapore is potentially flipping to us. Aden is potentially flipping towards us. So those are things that we might want to consider when we think about our build. Another thing is Patala Palace. Must be built on a hill next to a mountain. It would be nice to get an extra diplomatic policy slot. Would be really, really good. Do I want to spend 26 turns on that when I'm going to be building Oxford in 11? Perhaps I would be much happier if I were to spend my time quickly getting one settler to go claim this iron down here, which I can sell to the AI. Yeah, I think that suits me a lot better to just go yoink this. It's a really good support city because it can generate gold relatively easily off this lake. So I'm going to sneak out a settler because we have nothing else to build. And well, here's the thing. We could theoretically do 3 theatre square projects while we wait for Oxford. Which isn't the worst move imaginable. Now that I've realized that that's an option. So I want to keep my trade routes fairly short, and I may actually do some internals here. Maybe internals are better for Tall. Maybe I'll do internals for Tall. I'll send from Beijing to the capital. Hello, time to trade 1 zombie for 2 zombies. What have we got amphitheater wise here? Now my hope is that I can build up a giant army of zombies and then overtake the world with it someday. We have the amphitheater in Wuhan. Let's get started on the university. 12 turns until we get that. These are worth plus 8 science each. Looks like Chichen Itza was taken. No. We haven't started Chichen Itza. Okay, so we'll start Chichen Itza in here. 39 turns on that one. That's going to be a slow build. Singapore did flip and is flipping to me in 11 turns, which is great news. I can get 5 food and 3 production by trading with the capital, and actually that's a really damn good trade route. It'll accelerate my growth rate and everything else. This volcano is still going crazy, unfortunately. We do need to think about our tier 2 government, what tier 2 government we want to go for, and then what we want to do with that tier 2 government. I'm going to go ahead and convert barbarians. So we want to come in here, and it could be worth it for me to drop urban planning, but the +1 production is still really good here, I think. But I don't think it's as good as autocratic legacy anymore, so I'm going to drop it, and instead I'm going to plug in Gothic architecture. I don't think we actually need serfdom anymore, but urban planning is quite good. And when we decide to build another builder, we can plug in serfdom again. I really want diplomatic service for the Chancery. I would really like to get Merchant Republic to have my tier 2 government, 15% production towards districts and 10% gold in all cities with established governors. That seems like really helpful. Does killing a unit with my own zombie spawn a zombie? It doesn't seem like it, but we'll see. Unfortunately, I wanted to see if I could spawn my own zombies by fighting. This zombie's in perfect position to get EV positive trades. Excellent. It did spawn a zombie, but I don't know if that was as a result of my doing. So Chichen Itza is down to 28 turns rather. Which isn't as bad as it was. Here's a fun question. I don't think the zombie convert thing works on... I don't think it works on free cities, but we should at least try it out to see what happens. So we got the amphitheater in Beijing. It could be handy to get a granary right now. We're about to hit our growth cap at 11 population, so adding more housing here at this current time seems quite valuable. Does dispersing clans? Yeah, it still gets you era score, so I'll do that. So medieval fairs is completed. I'm going to take out urban planning and plug in serfdom. You cannot convert these free city units. They do not count as barbarians. Good knowledge to have. In terms of governor titles, I'm going to grab Moksha preemptively for when these new cities appear. And then I was going to do something else. I'm losing a bunch of money, so I need to sell stuff off. 5 gold per turn suits me. I'll take a couple points of gold per turn as well by selling off all these strategics. I'm going to sell off a little bit of this. 20 Diplo favor at a time to pick up a little bit of GPT. That does mean I won't have much control over the next session, but that's not the end of the world. I'm the only one in the aid request targeting Suleiman, so I'm pretty sure I can just gift him 1 gold and I'll win. I'll give him 5 just in case. The other one is targeting Mansa Musa. I'll send him 5 gold as well to make sure that I win that. So there's your gift, Mansa Musa. And then the final one targeting Eleanor, I will also send her 5 gold. This just gets me on the board. We're nice and safe. 1 gold feels a little bit too like an insult. Let's trade you for a crossbow. Ooh, excellent. Double trade over here, potentially. I will delete this pikeman because I don't want to pay for a pikeman. We have found Roraima, which is quite nice, although it's nowhere near us. We did finish another Theatre Square Festival. I'm going to take the turn to settle out a builder as we head towards Oxford University. Now, Oxford University is an industrial era wonder. So unfortunately, we would need to get, I believe it's this one here, civil engineering, to boost the production towards it. So we'll just have to kind of slow build it. But here's the thing. We're already getting like 45% extra science in the capital. So an extra 20% is big, but not a game changer. So we still really want Oxford though. And we want to fill out our great work slots as well. Yeah, the Ottomans are just having an exceptionally good game. I still don't think they can beat us. Because in the right circumstances, I should win. Let's go ahead and faith buy a builder in Wuhan. And speaking of faith buying, it would be really, really nice to get a little bit more faith per turn before the era ends to see if maybe we could squeeze out an extra builder. So I might put a couple of envoys in there. Unfortunately, you need to become an archer. 10 turns until the next era. So getting a little bit of extra faith will be quite tough. But it would be nice if I could buy one extra builder from that. Now we'll see what we can do. So Patrick Cutie has declared war on me. Scary. Who else has declared war on me then? Just him. But where is he? The Mali are over here. This is the Ottomans. This is Dido. This is Nubia. This is Eleanor. I don't know why he declared war on me. It was very weird. Oh, I guess this is him? How odd. Why can't I shoot him? I'm in a hill. Okay. So, by everything I know about how the game's combat system works, I'm in a hill. He's in a hill. There's a hill between us, but there's no forest on the hill. So I should be able to shoot over my hill to hit him. Like everything I know about the game's mechanics means from this vantage point, oh, right. It's because we're in a World Congress. That makes a lot more sense. Right. Okay. I was like, what the hell? I couldn't explain to you why I couldn't shoot him. But on the verge of starting the Oxford University, on the verge of a war with the Incan Empire, that, my friends, is where I'm going to love you and I am going to leave you. Because this is the end of this episode. I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. I love you all very much and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.